It's that time again. It's Kingslayer Hoops, and I'm very excited to be back with some actual NBA content. For those of you who are new here, welcome aboard. The purpose of the series is to provide you guys with some real NBA discussion, along with some high quality NBA 2K gameplay in the background. So I'm hoping that the gameplay will be just as entertaining as the actual topics that we're going to be discussing. That is my goal, and I'd like to do more of these videos this year. So if that's something that you guys support, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so thus far. Really helps me out a lot, and don't forget to hit that little notification bell because YouTube is tripping sometimes. Okay, so I'm going to start this video off with a disclaimer, as I have often done in the past, by saying that I am a Los Angeles Lakers fan. So you're probably going to see a decent amount of Lakers content on this channel, but it's not all going to be pro Lakers content because I'm actually very critical of this franchise, and that's really what I'm going to be talking about today. So I want to talk about the Lakers' chances of making the NBA Finals. So I actually think we have a decent chance to make the Finals. LeBron James and Anthony Davis is one of the most dynamic duos we've seen in years, and while I have the general feeling that we have a pretty good chance to make the finals, and this would be a great year to do it, being that the league is kind of wide open now that the Warriors dynasty is more or less over, there is one stumbling block, one hurdle that the Los Angeles Lakers are going to have to get over, and that stumbling block is called Rajon Rondo. Rondo. So for anyone who's been watching the Lakers last season, you know how bad this guy has gotten. He's getting older, and we're starting to see all the worst parts of Rajon Rondo. Celtics Rondo is pretty much gone. He does still, have his passing ability, his high IQ, and that's something I'm going to talk about in a little bit. But I think the pro Rondo contingent on Twitter really only watches First Take and Dawkins highlight compilations because honestly, he had a horrible 18-19 season. And if you haven't watched 70 Lakers games in the past year, please don't come tell me how great he is because he averages 7 assists or whatever. He's not good. He's not good. We're going to get into that today. So look, at a certain point last season, LeBron James was a minus 55 on the court. And the periods during... LeBron is the third best player of all time, okay? Second or third best player of all time, depending on who you talk to. But to be a minus 55 on the court, something drastic has to be happening, right? He's got to be playing with a broken leg, or he's missing an eyeball or something. Nope. LeBron James was minus 55 on the court last year when he was playing with Rajon Rondo. Okay? So this is a real thing. There was a big enough sample size because Luke Walton insisted on playing both of them at the same time for whatever reason. And even if you don't know a whole lot about basketball, it makes absolutely no sense to have both of these players on the court at the same time. LeBron James, obviously a high usage player, and I don't say that pejoratively at all. I think that when the ball is in LeBron's hands, good things happen. Unfortunately, Rajon Rondo likes to dribble out about 20 seconds of the shot clock every time down the court offensively for the Lakers. At least that's how it's been this past year. Now, maybe things have changed in the preseason and Rondo has had a coming to God moment, but I highly doubt it. I also want to add that Rondo is an absolute turnstile defensively. This dude could not guard the coach's son from Hey Arnold. If anybody remembers the basketball episode of Hey Arnold, shout out to y'all. Let me know in the comment section if you recognize that reference. Y'all are really cool people. So he is absolutely awful defensively. He gets blown by Sean Livingston last season, who is 40 years old. He can't guard anybody at all. He doesn't even put in the effort. It would be one thing if it was just his body is breaking down a little bit. And, you could just say, all right, he needs to conserve for the postseason or whatever. But no, he's not even trying. He's not even putting in the slightest bit of effort defensively. That's a huge problem for the Lakers. Additionally, there's this myth going around on Twitter and on Reddit that Rondo is a competent shooter. But this is why context is important, right? You can't just look at his three-point shooting percentage or his wide open shooting percentage. First of all, he only takes shots when he is wide open, when there's no defenders within 40 feet of him. He needs to have like 5 seconds free with no defenders in his airspace. And in addition to that, he only takes like 2 threes a game. So like, I don't care if you're shooting 45% from 3 if you're only taking 2 threes a game, right? And what's more important than the 3-pointers, which I could talk about all day, but we're going to move on from that. What's even more important to me than the 3-pointers that's really going to hurt the Lakers going forward is that he has no pull-up mid-range game whatsoever. That's going to be a huge problem in the pick and roll. The Lakers are going to run a lot of on-ball pick and rolls this year, and they should, because they have, obviously, Anthony Davis, JaVale McGee, Dwight Howard, guys who you want to get involved in the pick and roll. And look, how often have you seen Rajon Rondo get over a screen, the defender drops back to catch Rondo and also make sure that the center or power forward doesn't get behind him, and then the play just stops because Rondo just freezes and doesn't know what to do if he can't pass the ball, right? He'll just stop in that mid-range area, won't pull up, and on the rare occasions where he does pull up, you already know before the shot even leaves his hand, it's not going in. That's just not his game. So, yeah, this is a huge problem for the Lakers this year. I think that the solution, honestly, is you have to commit to LeBron at point guard, at least as your starting point guard. And you need to let Caruso and Quinn cook? Wordplay? But you need to let those two guys cook. We saw a little bit of Quinn Cook in the preseason, and he looked good. Now, it's not a huge sample size. I know that in Golden State, Quinn Cook wasn't exactly a Steph Curry replacement level player, but he's a guy that I would much rather have him playing over Rondo because he can run the pick and roll, he can pull up in the mid-range if the defenders drop back, and he can obviously knock down open threes coming off of screens and things like that. And I'd be okay with Rondo playing 10, 11 minutes a game, maybe, especially in garbage time. I'm fine with Rondo getting all the garbage time minutes he wants. If we're up by, 25 points, go for it. Rondo time, baby. But he should not be playing a single minute next to LeBron James. It makes no type of sense whatsoever. When the playoffs come around, I would very much like to see Rondo on the sidelines with a clipboard. Not that I want to see him injured, I'm not saying that, but I do think that's the best way to put his high basketball IQ to use, because that's still valuable. Don't get me wrong. I think Rondo is actually going to be a really good assistant coach after he retires, hopefully this season. But yeah, on the floor, he is doing nothing but hurting the Lakers, most of their lineups at least. And that begs the question, well, why is he playing? Do we just have a front office full of idiots, and are the coaching staff just incompetent for the second year in a row? And no, I fully understand why we're playing Rajon Rondo, and it's because of politics, basically. We know that LeBron James and Anthony Davis both really enjoy playing with Rondo. They respect him a whole lot, and that's something that you have to take into consideration if you're the organization. But like I said, he can't be playing 15 plus minutes a game at this point in his career. He's just hurting the team. He can't be playing with LeBron James at all. If you want to bring him off the bench for a few minutes here and there and completely surround him with shooters, because that's really the only time that he's effective, then sure. But aside from that, I'm really not trying to see the Rondo show this year. I'm hoping that he retires this year or at least goes and plays in like Puerto Rico or something, because it's just not pretty to watch him. And like I said, for those of you who are the pro Rondo contingent out there, I defy you to watch an actual full game. Don't just watch the Dawkins highlights, all right? Don't just check his highlight clips on ESPN. Actually watch him play basketball and tell me how often you see a play die because Rondo has nobody to pass to and is afraid to pull up for a mid-range jumper, or how many times you see him get blown by like Wesley Matthews or something. It happens a lot. Yeah, I don't mean to hate. I really don't. I hope that the coaching staff utilizes Rondo wisely this year. I hope that, like I said, we see Rondo with a clipboard on the sidelines in the playoffs. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope we see a lot of the Bald Mamba, Alex Caruso, and Quinn Cook, because I think those guys both have a lot to contribute at this point in their careers. Alright guys, so that is going to do it for my little Rondo rant today. The videos won't all be this negative. I'm going to focus on some positive things. But like I said earlier, please like and subscribe. It really helps the channel out a lot. And until next time, happy gaming, y'all.